So, since Dan muted me while I was in the middle of talking, because we know you don't do that, yes, you can have all the alcohol you want. It's after Halloween. I don't think Dan's wearing any pants. So glad Dan didn't hear me say any of those things.
Don't be scared. I just want to play a game with you.
What did you say about me?
I don't know. I guess I'll have to see the replay.
Of your last goodbye.
I like your pants, Dan.
Haunted by the echo of your last goodbye.
May the force be with you.
The house is haunted by memories that refuse to die. I can't get away from a vision that brings intimate glimpses of intimate things. A voice in my heart like a tart singer sings. I wonder to sing it now. The house haunted by the echo of your favorite song. The place is cluttered up with roses that have lived too long.
Just a sneak peek, me and Christopher Pressley are going to be starting an all-Christmas show next week, so it's going to be great.
Shadows are black. A ghost in my heart says she'll never
Classic.
back.
Classic.
Why is he flipping me off? That's so rude.
How rude.
Why is this intro so long?
Are you muting my mic, host?
Because you weren't muting your mic, and nobody wanted to hear the music twice. Hello, who's there?
Hello?
Oh, it's Wilma Presley. God, she's so old. Is it Halloween yet?
Maybe.
The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by memories that refuse to die. I can't get away from a vision that brings intimate glimpses of intimate things. A voice in my heart like a tart singer sings. I wonder who's kissing her now. The house is haunted by the echo of your favorite song. The place is cluttered up with roses that have lived too long, much too long. But the shadows are
Good evening and welcome to the Haunt Hour with your host Dan Doble, Susie Fleesick, and Troy Crivello. Join us tonight as we talk about all things haunting and Halloween during the Haunt Hour.
Well. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another fantastic post-Halloween Haunt Hour. How is everybody doing?
I've been here for like a month and a half, and you guys never
Right.
came into any of these shows we did.
You look
And I
like
was just sitting here all by myself, and now you guys decide to come in?
you look like you're in a closet. Where are you? Susie, you look 20 years younger. It must
Thank
be
you.
November.
It's
It must
definitely
be
November.
She got
For
sleep.
sure. I did. Lots and lots of sleep.
Oh my gosh. Well, we're sorry to wake you up from your slumber because I'm
It's-
sure, you know.
That's actually true. I actually was in the living room taking a nap watching a Christmas movie. So yeah.
What? Wait, what was that word?
Christmas.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
What? I was on my roof putting lights up earlier, so
Oh,
Yep.
I'm there with you.
guys are so-
Uh-huh. Right.
I
go
we don't watch
hard
Christmas
for all
movies until
holidays.
after Thanksgiving, by the way. That's a second.
Yeah, we're not those people. Sorry.
There's like one Thanksgiving movie, and I think it's called Thanksgiving, I think. And it's like, I think the turkey murders people or something. I don't know, but you should watch that instead.
Yeah, we will. We'll watch that on Thanksgiving night.
There you go.
There you go.
There you
There you go. Sounds like a plan.
For sure.
So, yeah.
Well, how did everything go? I mean, October is now done. I mean, we talked a little bit in the beginning of October, and now October went through. I mean, how did the season go?
I feel like I don't remember because it feels like so long ago.
I know,
And
right?
it's like I've just been nonstop. Honestly, this past weekend was the first weekend I had to like breathe. Just haunt stuff. And, actually yesterday, my Troy and I were like, this is the first Sunday that we haven't had anything on our schedule in months. I mean, like April, maybe May, probably. Like we've had something to do. And you guys know, like in during the summer, it's Sunday, wake up, put haunt clothes on, go down and spend the entire day down there. So
Right.
then we just went and strolled right into haunt season. And unfortunately, my brother passed away the week after haunt season. And that weekend
right.
we had,
I know.
funeral stuff. And then after that, my daughter was in a show. So last weekend was that show. And, as a show parent, it's like, I
Yep.
got a lot of that to do. So I was involved in that. And then this past weekend, we put up all our Christmas stuff. Yay. And I
She
was
said it
telling-
again.
I was telling Troy before you got on today a little bit earlier. Do you remember like our first or second episode? I had like the deer on the mantle behind me.
Yes. Yes.
And I have the deer back up, but I'm not sitting in the same, as you can tell, these are my
Yeah.
windows back here.
Yeah.
I just moved up my seat, but I looked over there. I'm like, oh my gosh. Cause I remember like taking the deer like across like
Yes.
the thing.
Uh-huh.
And
We
it's
were
just so
talking
weird
about
that it's,
background,
yeah.
Memories.
Right.
So, how do you think your tiny little one room school haunt did this year?
My little,
little tiny
300
little thing.
300
A little
square
haunt
foot-
is good.
my 300
You
square
got
foot.
like you have like one actor, like
There's
an
like one
animatronic
guy
in
that kind of
spirit. It's
follows
fine.
everybody around. It's fun.
Yeah, I get you.
Actually, it's the woman and it's me. Oh wait, never mind. I was gonna crack a really bad joke. So I won't. I'll save
Good,
it for that.
good. It's dad.
Good.
It's dad joke Sunday, Monday with
Monday,
Susie.
Tuesday.
Exactly. We did well. The beginning of the season and probably the last time we had a show, shit was just happening with like, the actors and,
Mhm.
just normal stuff. But then it felt a little bit heightened for 2021 because I don't know why, like we were trying to figure out like, what is the deal with actors this year and why does it feel so much harder? But honestly, and I am saying this from the depths of my soul, it ended on such a high note and I ended up with the best group of actors that I could have possibly asked for. Everybody was so close and so together and it just it like it made me feel bad because I was reading some horror stories online from other haunters about what their actors were doing and like destroying sets, walking off scenes. Like when I say my actors are a pain in my ass, I do not mean that. I mean they're just bitching about the little things.
Yeah.
Which, for me, I'm just like, oh my God, okay, so that costume doesn't fit you perfectly, big deal. But I realize there's a lot of haunters that are going through a lot worse and dealing with a lot bigger problems. And then when I noticed that was kind of a trend that people were having, like people destroying things. I was like, wait a minute, I don't have it that bad. And then I started to kind of appreciate my staff a little bit more because they weren't like destroying my place. And we just ended really well. We had our end of year banquet. We did awards. We did Scarrett badges for the first time, which they
Nice.
absolutely loved. Plus, we did
That's
homemade
good.
awards. They weren't as good as Troy's awards that he made that he refused to make for me, but whatever.
I like that. I refuse.
Well done.
Yet,
Well
I
done.
believe you asked me like a day before Halloween.
Like the day you posted. the
Oh, I
ones that
did.
you
Yeah, you did.
That
You
was
did.
that day.
It's funny.
But so yeah, we ended on a really high note. Everything was good, and we actually haven't announced it, but I'm sure nobody that would be around us would be watching this. But we are like 85% sure we're doing a 2-day Valentine haunt, and it's going to
Awesome.
be 18 and up. And all
Ooh.
my actors will be over 18, and all of the patrons must be over 18. So we're going to get a little bit spicy.
Is there going to be nudity?
Not real nudity, maybe some nipple tassels, but not on women, probably men. Just
Oh.
saying. Yeah, so it's going to be fun. I think I have the perfect
Damn
cast
you,
for that
Micah.
this year.
You.
Yeah, right. I don't even know if Micah can attend. He'll be here Thursday for Thanksgiving though, so I'll see if
Oh,
he's
that's
going to be
fine.
a part of this. But
That's
yeah, we're just like thinking about some ideas, and we have a really great cast this year. We brought in a second makeup artist this year who was bomb in airbrushing, and she's come in with a bunch of ideas, and we just have a really good cast. And I think it's time. We always had this kind of inside joke within the actors. When somebody would do something, we'd always be like, oh yeah, we'll do that on over 18 night, and then the new people would be like, oh yeah, when's that? And we'd be like, yeah, we don't know. It's just some fictional day that might happen sometime. So I think it's like finally time for over 18 night, but it's probably going to be the weekend. I think Valentine's Day might be a Monday or Tuesday. So I think that Friday, Saturday, it's like the 18th and 19th. And it's freezing in our building. So I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work, but we're going to try it and see how it goes. I think we're going to get a whole different demographic of people that like maybe some freaks. I don't know. That's fine. I'm good. I'm here for it.
Awesome.
I'm here for it. So.
Troy, how did your Halloween go?
Hold on. I do have one thing to share, and I know that she already saw this as well.
Yes.
Crawford School of Terror is scored an 8.95 on the Scare Factory top haunted houses or Scare Factor.
Scroll down there. Scroll down. I want to look at that. Okay,
what were all the ones that are above you?
I don't have my glasses. Okay, yeah, but here's like the really cool part. Like we're tied with 100 Acres Manor, and the reason that's a big deal for me is because I love the guys at 100 Acres.
Mm-hmm.
They're the biggest haunt that's the closest to us. So they're about an hour away. And the other thing that really is meaningful is the same review team went to both of us. So if you understand how Scare Factor works, there's different review teams. So it was the exact same review team that went to us that went to them. So it's not really like, oh, these people think that, you know what I mean? Like we're tied, and I think that's huge. I don't know how they feel about it. I'm gonna have to ask
there's a lot of big names on that list. I mean, that's impressive.
Yeah. We did phenomenal this year. And they came like on day 2 or something ridiculous like that. Yeah. I don't know why I approved that. Who knows who I was back then. I'm a different person, different times of the year, I've noticed. Like I said, I'm drinking. There's alcohol in this.
Right.
I look well rested. My nails are done. Like, who am I?
It's November. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So
but
Troy, your haunted house.
Yeah.
Your haunted yard. Your Oregon love.
Woo! Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, that is the toned down version of my idea of what I was going to do this year. But it still was awesome. As you can tell, there is a 12-foot skeleton on the roof.
Yes.
So that was a fun excursion to do. But this year, the main thing that I did with mine was I normally and with COVID, I even did it as well. But in all the other years before that, I only had the cemetery, and you walked around it and went down my driveway and up to my front door. And for COVID, you went right next to the mausoleum. I was standing there and I handed out candy that way. But this year I decided that I wanted people to walk through the graveyard. So I added a bunch more fencing and moved everything over so that I had 2 separate cemeteries, and they were able to walk through the cemetery. And then go up to by the door where Ashley was, my wife. For the first time in years, she actually was able to hand out candy because my son did not want to go trick-or-treating, and my daughter left just randomly at like 6:30 and never came back until like 9:30, and I have no idea where she went in the neighborhood, but she was gone. Which is what I want. That's what I wanted. I wanted her to just go. That's what I want for all kids. Just go to your neighborhood and just never come back until it's dark, until it's like 10 o'clock, and bags and bags and bags full of candy. So she got to sit there and do that, which she actually got to scare some kids, and she remembered how fun it was to scare kids. And about halfway through, she walked up to me and said, "You can have a walkthrough in 2 years." And the old man in me said, "I don't know." I don't know. Maybe.
Work.
Well, it is.
For a couple hours. Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Done it.
But yeah, so I added a few things this year, mainly my big I think there's a better picture of them. These guys. I added these guys this year. I had a lot of fun making them. And my cool mausoleum and everything. Yeah. So, but yeah, we had we probably had about 250 kids, 250 kids come by. We used to have a haunted house 2 streets down from us, and they moved out in August. And so everybody was coming down there, and they didn't see anything, but then they saw my lights and saw my fog, and so they maneuvered their way down. Most of them had come by, the last 2 years I've been here as well, so it helped. But that was kind of a sad part, was that they were gone, and a lot of people came by and said the things like, "I've been coming to that haunted house for years," and so about halfway through I messaged them, and I was like, "Everybody wants to know where you are." And they were like, "No, that's sad. Don't tell us that." So they moved out to a farm, and I'm like, "Okay, then do a farm haunt." Like, they have 10 acres. I'm like, "Hello," but it's not set up that well for it. But yeah, we had a ton of people come by. Everybody loved it. And I got to see my Halloween. We have Halloween night and everything like that, but the rest of the month is where I have the most fun, because in the second weekend of October, I went to New England, and I got to go to Haunted Overload and Legends of Fear and Factory of Terror and Fear Town and Evidence of Evil. That was an interactive one.
How many haunts total did you hit?
We went to 6 haunts at night and 1 during the day. Factory of Terror we went through during the daytime and saw it, which was an amazing experience going through that during the daytime. And one of the coolest things, Fear Town and Factory of Terror are owned by the same people. But as you're driving through Massachusetts and Rhode Island, you see billboards that say Fear Town, a ton better, or so much better than Factory of Terror. And then you see one that says Factory of Terror, and it says Fear Town sucks. And it's but it's them talking about each other. And I'm like, that's the best marketing ever, because not everybody knows who owns all these haunts.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was really cool. But Haunted Overload, of course, was amazing. If you ever get a chance to go out in the middle of freaking nowhere, I mean, it is Lee, New Hampshire. It's in the middle. You're driving forever. And then all of a sudden, boom, this huge freaking display is right in front of you. It did not disappoint. I had no idea that their queue line is where all the pictures you see, all the the big giant blue skull and the big Komodo dragon and stuff like that, and the big tree you walk through with the green everything. That's all in the queue line, all of it.
Oh, really?
That's not in the haunt at all. The haunt was very good. Eric really prides himself on still being a home haunter. Yep. And so like the big skull is tree bark. The Komodo dragon is tree bark. And then it's painted with UV paint. So he didn't like build it out of all this metal and steel and all this kind of stuff. It was, it's in a forest. So he just grabbed bark, The people that build it are you could tell there's a lot of pride in it. And we found out that all of the actors, they're all volunteer, and they all make their own costumes, do their own makeup. And then, he feeds them and everything, but they're kind of involved in making the haunt as well. So it's it's just a big family working out there, and they carve, I think it's like 150 pumpkins like every weekend.
Yeah, I know it's a lot.
Yeah, it's
Whoa.
and they have a crew that comes in like Wednesday and Thursday and carves all day
Wow.
and all evening, and that's all they do. And then they toss them, and it was really warm, like it was in the 70s while we were there, and so
Mhm.
those pumpkins were barely lasting until Sunday.
Mhm.
And so that was cool. But the highlight for all of us, because I took a bunch of haunters, and a bunch of us went together from all over the country, and we ended the tour at Legends of Fear in Sheldon, Connecticut. And that was one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had at a haunted house. I've never been through a trail and a hayride before, because we don't have hayrides out here in the West Coast. Well, there's one in California, but whatever. That experience alone was awesome. Going through that type of it, and the big buildings they make, and all. I mean, they have a giant pirate ship that you actually go underneath a laser vortex as you're going through it, and you're in the swamp, and the pirate ship's right there, and the acting is great. The sound, you can hear everybody like perfectly because they all have mics, and they all Alex is the one who does all the sound for them, and he's amazing with what he does. And so you can hear every single actor.
That's cool.
You know what they're saying. It's just great. And they had a dinner for us, and they had all this extra fun stuff for us after they closed. And it was just their big thing was that they wanted to show us that they're a big family. And I know that's one of the biggest things with pretty much almost every haunted house is that they're a family. And I believe that for this whole industry as well, that we are one big giant family, and they really, really, really personified that there. They feed their actors all the time, but it's not just like, here's some burgers. It's like catered food. It's hot food, coming out of the trays and stuff like that. And they have just a great family there running that. So if you are ever in that area you got to go to at least Overload and Legends of Fear. But Factory of Terror and Fear Town were amazing. And Evidence of Evil was awesome. That was interactive. I like that a lot. So, but yeah, so, and then I got to see a bunch out over here, haunted houses, home haunts over here all the time. I usually spend the rest of the time going out there every couple of nights and looking at all the home haunts, and had some really, really, really cool ones this year that popped up. So,
what's your Google Maps up to now as far as haunts on the Northwest?
It got 70, I think it was 75,000 views just in the month of pretty much about halfway through September through the end of October. And that I think it was 7. Yeah.
I know it was a lot.
And that, we've got 350 places to go between British Columbia, the northern part of British Columbia down to California, but the bulk of them are in Portland and Seattle. And there's not enough time to go through them all. And we had people come by our house that said, yeah, this year we decided that we're just going to follow the map and go to those houses on Halloween. So they were just driving from house to house on the map instead of going to their neighborhoods, which I'm like, still go to your neighborhood, but that was cool.
Yeah,
so we had a lot of people say that they got a lot more people this year because of that. A bunch of them were on the news. And we had a bunch of news organizations sharing just the map in just stories about Halloween. So that helped a lot too.
That's cool.
But yeah, so it was a fantastic year.
Fantastic.
What about you, Dan?
Oh man, I did more than I did last year.
Yeah.
I hit a bunch of haunted houses locally within the Wisconsin area. My daughter turned 16 this year, my middle daughter. So she was all about haunted houses because the boys that she hangs out with are all about haunted houses. We all know how that works.
Yeah.
So she was super excited to go to as many haunted houses as possible. And since Dad knows all the people that, put on haunted houses, I gave her some pretty good experiences with a couple local haunts around here. So she really enjoyed it. The kids loved it. I went through a couple of them. I got to hang out with a couple couple of the people that I used to work with or work for. We went out to a couple haunts, which was nice. It's nice to catch up with old people. There's a couple haunters that are no longer haunting anymore that joined up with us. So I got to see people that I haven't seen in years. So it was cool. It was fun. I didn't do much public stuff. We didn't do any reviews or anything like that. Haunt Collective was pretty silent in this October, but it was still fun. I didn't get to see, and the other thing is my children are into sports and stuff like that, and Oconomowoc, where I'm from, is big into volleyball, and volleyball runs the same time as Halloween. So yeah, well, I don't plan on the girls going to state every year, but they went to state this year, and it was literally over the weekend of Halloween, so I missed the actual day of Halloween. Not the day, the night of Halloween.
Right.
The day I was around, but the crowds were crazy here. Yeah. My wife was very salty that I was not in the state because there were so many people. She ran out of candy within like 15 minutes. We had so much candy. Like, we're known for
terrible.
I heard that from a lot of people, that there were a lot of neighborhoods that were running out of candy. Lots of people.
We live in a very close area. Like, we're the city of Oconomowoc. It's a town, but we're in the one in the quarter acre lots, so you can hit like 20 houses in at a quarter of a mile.
Right.
And so she said that there were people, like, I don't want to say getting bussed in, but there was a lot.
They do. They
do it because we're one of the only cities that does it at night, a Saturday before Halloween. So some people do it on Halloween. Most people do it on Halloween during the day. In our area, we're the only ones that do it on a Saturday night. So we're literally the only place. So people will double down and come out here, us, and then Halloween on a Saturday night, and then obviously, Halloween that was on Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
Sunday. So they doubled down on that one. So we had a ton of people out here, and it was really, really nice weather too.
Oh yeah,
50s, 60s. So
yeah,
worked out really well. But that was my Halloween. I mean, it was
nice.
It was eventful. It was fun. Yeah. I didn't miss haunting like building and tearing down.
I miss building. That's my favorite thing. I decided.
I take that back. I did miss building.
Yeah, building's my favorite.
Next morning, November 1st, I looked out my window and I said, all I got to do is rake the leaves. I don't have to worry about anything.
I don't even rake leaves.
See now for me, I have left up my entire display. Everything is up except for a couple of statues.
Oh, that's good. But you're rolling into Christmas. That's
we
right.
We just put snow on the tombstones yesterday.
That's right.
Everything is going to get transformed. All the lights are already changed. Yeah. Everything's getting transformed into Santa's cool. cemetery.
Yeah. So we don't take shit down because ours is inside.
You just
right.
Lock the door and walk away.
That's right. You're lucky.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we got through this year. What do we have any plans for next year, or do we want to talk about the end of the? Do we want to bring the Chris's in and talk about that stuff? Like what's our plan here tonight? I think we were just basically talking about Halloween and talk about what we did for Halloween and what we kind of experienced and then talk about the upcoming award shows, because that's what from now, basically from November to February, there's not a whole lot going on in the industry, other than a couple, some of the pro haunts will have their Valentine's and Christmas.
Yes!
Haunts. Yeah, woo! Yeah, okay, calm down there. Calm down there.
Sorry.
Calm down.
Is it official, Susie? Susie, is it official? No, not pulling your shirt up, but like, is it?
It's not spring break yet, Susie. Calm
down.
Yeah,
you could do that on spring break. But is it?
No, it's not official. We haven't announced anything.
Okay,
yet.
Then we'll just stop talking about it. And
just Crawford School of Terror.
Calling all the freaks.
Just go there every weekend and stand out front, and one of the times they may be open. You never know.
Never know.
Yeah.
Closer to February.
Okay. Yeah, I think we should bring the guys on because they're itching down there. Yeah. They're all getting mad and stuff.
Would you say itching down there? What?
just Pressley. Just Pressley. Chris Ainsworth is much more mature than that.
All right. Bring him on.
Oh, I have to do that?
You're doing it all.
There we go. Oh, he's
click him
in. He said itching down there, so I don't know if you want to no.
Susie.
Don't start. Spring break. She has been drinking. This is great.
Spring break, Susie.
Woo! Next week it'll be the all Susie show. It's just her by herself.
Oh man.
Well, welcome guys. Welcome to the show. I hope you guys had a great October.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
So Troy, you want to kick this thing off? I mean, we
can start with asking, Mr. Ainsworth there, how was your Halloween? How did it go at your place?
It was truly amazing. It was we did for last year for 2020, we set up our yard display, but we didn't do the walkthrough because of COVID.
Right.
And we closed off our pathway and we didn't hand out any candy. So it was strictly just come by and look at. But this year, everybody knew because we used all our social media to announce that we're going to be doing the walkthrough. We did a haunted corn maze this year.
Ooh.
And we had usually when we're open, we get close to 3,000 trick-or-treaters.
Wow.
The only reason I know that number is because we have a chip company and a candy company that donate product, and we know at the end how much is left we gave out.
I just grab. So you hand out one thing per person?
Well, we give out full-size chocolate bars because we get
you're that house. Oh,
yeah, we do.
Of course he is.
We do the Mars bars because they're nut-free, and you've got all these kids now that have nut allergies. So at least that's one we can give out. Yeah. And then we had a mixture of either cheesies or rippled potato chips, and we do big bags because the sponsor gives. So when the kids come up, they're like, "Oh my god!" Like we're not getting because everybody else gives it like the little snack size, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Then like a minute later, they're back, and they've changed their mask. Or can you give for my sister?
No.
That's awesome.
Now, do you if somebody comes up without a costume, do you hand out candy to them, or do they have to be in costume? I know some people have different rules.
We don't really police that. We're, us adults are still kids at heart. So, some of the parents come up, and if there's a good-looking hot mom there, I'll say, "Hey, would you like a candy, mom?"
I like it.
Woo!
And I'm sure Mrs. Ainsworth does that to the hot dads.
Well, of course.
She does.
Of course.
She does, 100%.
I don't know if there are hot dads. I don't know if that's a thing, but whatever.
I don't know.
All I know is I'm not one.
Honestly, it was nice to see the spirit of Halloween back, and everybody, I think like you guys had indicated earlier while you were talking, it's just everybody was really into it this year. I think because they missed it from last year. So the numbers were crazy. Like everybody was out, and this was actually the first Halloween we had that it wasn't super cold or raining.
Oh,
so
wow.
That was another good thing for us. So,
yeah, it's the same with us. Wisconsin's, you never know. It could be 20 degrees and snowing, or it could be 70 degrees and sunny.
Same in PA. Yeah.
You never know what you're going to get. And
same in PA
this year. So
we've had snow in previous years, definitely up here.
Yeah, we only have to worry about rain, and if it rains, it's just Halloween's over. Like if they say it's going to rain, that you'll get one or two kids from across the street, and that's it. You will. So we don't even know, and that's like the hardest thing with doing a walkthrough that I've done. Every year that I've done a walkthrough, we have had good weather, and I'm always open more than just Halloween night, so that helps too. But for the main Halloween night, we haven't had rain any of the times that we've been open, so that helps. But if it rains, they don't come out. Period. And so then you just don't have Halloween, and you have all this candy.
Yeah, the other thing to mention about us, we had a good year with raising funds. So for those of you that don't know, both my boys, when they were little, were in Sick Kids Hospital here in Toronto. And thank God now they're good. They're healthy. They're good to go. And when I was a kid trick-or-treating, we used to have those UNICEF boxes. And they stopped doing that. So we came up with the idea of donations for Sick Kids Foundation. And I even now charge a fee for people to go through. We ask for a $5 donation to go through the walkthrough. And in 3 nights, we were able to raise $15,000.
Oh my
Nice.
God.
Oh my
That's
gosh,
awesome.
that's
That tells
amazing.
you a little bit about the
job.
numbers that we got.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
you've been
so
doing-
we gave that all. We cut a check for sick kids and presented it to them, so they were really happy.
Oh, that's
Oh, sweet.
And you've been doing the sick kids thing for a long time, right?
Yeah, well, like I said, both my boys
Right.
were in sick kids, so this is why we do it. You know,
Yeah.
we raise donations. So
Yeah.
we're at probably about 160,000 year to date. We've raised
Wow.
sick kids so far.
That is
That's
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah, so it's a
That-
good cause, and I think that's why nobody in the neighborhood really complains when we get
Right.
neighbors
Mhm.
helping.
how can
'cause
you?
We get major lineups, and
I bet.
we actually close the street off because you can't drive up the street because
Yeah.
there's just so many people. So I'm very happy that my neighbors tolerate it and allow it to happen.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
So
And Christopher didn't do anything. He did Christmas, or he's getting ready for Christmas, so he didn't do anything for Halloween. So we don't have.
My
to
name is not Troy Crivelone. I'm sorry. I am not.
I do
I
both.
am not.
Ooh.
I'm not the Christmas haunter. I'm sorry.
I do. I am.
Christopher, it's okay. We know that you're a hunter at heart.
Yeah.
Same.
Always have been. Always will be.
But here's the crazy thing about Christopher. He waits until like October 10th and then goes, "Hey guys, I want to build this witch stirring a cauldron. How do I do that?" And it's like, wait a minute, it's October 10th. Why do you have time to do that in October? That's not fair. But yeah, why do you wait until the
I
end?
already knew how to build it. I never asked
That's
how to build it. I just said I am building it.
Did you do
I think
it?
that was a cry for help. But yeah.
No.
That was actually the first animatronic we built when we first started doing like home haunts was our witch with a cauldron.
Mhm.
And
I made one
That's
too.
That's a good question. So I'm going to throw this out there to everybody.
Okay.
We'll start with Chris. What was the first animatronic that you ever built? No,
Ainsworth.
not Christopher. Chris Ainsworth.
Okay.
That's a great.
First one I ever built would have been a wiper blade floating ghost
mhm.
that we had in the window with a fluorescent light on it.
Oh
Yeah,
yes.
the flying crank coast. That was mine too.
Yeah,
That was
Yeah.
mine too. Was it a flying crane coaster? Or was that what it
Yeah.
was?
No, that's that.
I didn't use the proper terminology, but you guys
Yeah.
know what it is.
Yeah. I think our crank was second.
Yeah.
But I think everybody had a crank.
I literally just got a crank this year from a haunter who was leaving town, and I just got it, and I've never had one before, and I just got it, and I didn't have anything to put it. I didn't have anything to make with it. I didn't make the ghost yet, so it's just sitting there. But I finally, after like 15 years of haunting, I finally have one. I'm excited.
Mine needed to be perfected just a little bit because I used a wedding dress on mine, but I thinned it out as much as I could
Oh wow.
so that it wasn't too heavy.
Yeah.
And but it would go up just fine, but then once the arm came around to start lowering it, it went boom. you know, and then it rises up nice and slow, and then boom. So I looked at that and went, I need to redo that. I've never redone it. I don't have the space. I don't have the space for it anymore. So
Oh, yeah.
That's
Well,
fun.
what was your first prop then? Your first animated prop?
Are you asking me that question?
No, Christopher.
He said
the flying crane coast.
Oh, okay. Okay, so both of you did that. Okay, Susie.
What did you do? What and so did Susie. We all said it
No,
was
ours was I think ours was the witch with the cauldron.
Oh, okay.
I think. And our second was
Used one?
probably the crank. Yeah. But we used I had found at some sale this mannequin bust that you would like, oh, what are they called? They have a proper name for them. I can't remember, but it's like you can put clothes on it, but it's
It's a
only
dress
like the bust
form.
part. Thank you. Oh my god. Ew,
What is
you
it
knew
called?
that and I didn't.
what is it called?
Anyway, it's
A dress form.
But it was
It has
metal.
actual fabric on it that will
Is it
hold
the one
and
that,
put
like,
pins in it and
You can
everything.
make it different sizes and
It
stuff.
was an
Yeah.
old one that didn't have the fabric on it, and it was just
Oh.
metal, and it was like this metal cage.
Mhm.
So we kind of used that for the body with like cheesecloth, etc. But it was heavy, so I don't
Yeah.
know. My brother and my husband did that. I would just dress it, but the only thing that we could get to make the actual cheesecloth glow was this Walmart hairspray. It was this Walmart glow in the dark hairspray that was clear when you'd spray it, and then when you put the black light on it, it would glow this beautiful purple color.
Oh wow.
And anything else would be like colored in the daytime, and you didn't want that because in the daytime you didn't want it to be like green if you would like spray it with like a glowing spray. So yeah, I don't think they make it anymore. But it was like $2.98 for these like clear hairsprays, but they were glow in the dark and they would just catch the black light so perfect.
Oh, wow.
So, just like that. That's exactly how it was. That was exactly the feeling.
I'm going, wait, why am I hearing angelic music? I don't
like,
see the white
like I was there.
light.
Welcome, Christopher Pressley, everybody.
Yeah, he's here. He's here.
I love it.
Anyway,
I've never been called angelic before, but I'll take it.
Same.
So Troy, you didn't answer. What is
mine was well, it was a month after we got married, and looking back on that, I now know why. But my wife sent me downstairs, and I found a fan that I had, just a desk fan, and I ripped off the cage, put a styrofoam head on it, put it inside a body, and I sat it in a chair, and it just moved back and forth.
Nice.
And then Halloween night, I dressed up in that, and then so technically my first motorized prop was the fan. But then I made a witch. But my witch used 7 different record players because I had no other idea of how to get the freaking thing to turn around in a circle. Nice. So I kept going to Goodwill's and grabbing record players.
Nice.
And I would put like a nail through the turntable and then put the stick through it, and it would go like this, and those motors would burn out within a couple hours each night.
I love it. It's great.
awesome. That is great.
Do you guys remember those shiatsu massagers?
Yeah, I had one.
We would use those for props. Like we would do it with those. Yeah.
Everybody, if you had a shiatsu massager, you were a hunter.
Oh yeah.
I think that's why they lasted the last couple years of their business. They were like, why are all these people buying shiatsu massagers in September? It's weird.
I think I've got one downstairs in the garage. I was like, ooh, a shiatsu massager. I'm gonna make a prop out of this, and I've never done it.
Yeah, you see it in Goodwill, you're like, mine. Yeah. It's $2.
Yeah, I've got like 2 or 3 of them in my basement right now. I have done nothing with them except stare at them and say, I know I'm going to do something with these at some point.
That's so good.
It's awesome. That's awesome. So, Troy, anything else? Where are we going from here?
No, I think we're going to go to, since we had our show last year, we're going to start with the Canadian Haunters Awards. So Chris can tell us all about that.
Yes.
I do want to preface that, he didn't see my message. But is your website having issues, Chris?
No, I got in. I don't know. Were you doing it on a cell phone or a tablet?
Because this is what it looks like.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I'm going to have to get in there and see what's happening.
So, but the cool thing is you can go to CanadianHuntersAssociation.com/contest-2021, or just go to the Canadian Hunters Association, hit contests. At the very bottom down here is where you can submit your entry.
Correct.
And then you fill out all the stuff. So maybe it's my computer. I don't know, but there's a lot of stuff missing. See there it is. Yeah. So, but yes.
Yeah, I'm getting it too, Troy. I'm getting it too.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have to get in there. I was in editing stuff earlier, and I must have hit something, but that's fine.
I have done that many times.
Yeah.
So tell us about the awards and maybe a little more backstory on them a little bit, and then
sure.
Yeah.
So we started the show with the awards. I'm going to say this is our 9th year. So we started back in 2012. I guess I'll just step backwards for a sec. The way the Canadian Haunters Association actually started originally was called the Ontario Haunters Club, and that's the province that I live in. And there was a lady that was running it, Victoria Wolf, and I met her through Sick Kids, and that's how I knew about it. And she was, I guess, overwhelmed with work, and she had a kid. And she decided that she just couldn't run the group anymore. So I took it over. And I travel a lot for business all across Canada and also down into the US. And I had a brain fart one night. Why not create chapters in each province? And then I get these guys all to help recruit and get more haunters to come on board. And that's kind of how the group grew. And then one of the things that we did is we had everybody submit their haunts. So we had a list of home haunts throughout Canada. And then this is where we got the idea of doing the Home Haunter Awards, because everybody wanted to show off their talents. They wanted to show all the blood, sweat, and tears that they put into their haunts. And what better way to do it than to create a contest and let them do that? So when we first started off, we probably had about, I think, 4, maybe 5 different categories. And it's grown over the years now to, we have 13 different categories. And it's a mixture of best home haunts, best yard haunts, walkthrough haunts, scare actors, both male and female. We do best set design. So in total we have about 13. And then we created one extra one, which is something that I usually do. And that's what we call our Spirit Award. And the Spirit Award, we give out an award to an individual or individuals that give back to the haunt community. So some of our previous winners have been like Chris and Jeff Davis from the Davis Graveyard. We had a haunter that started in British Columbia, Haunt Fest there, and she unfortunately passed away, so we honored her. We had one of our main sponsors, Paul Hopkins from Haunted House Creations. He won it one year. So again, it's just something that we give out to different individuals, but it's great to see how many people get competitive and how everybody, just starts submitting all their different categories to win. And a lot of people, I believe, really look forward to it. And we've formed some really good relationships over the years with people by doing it.
Yeah, definitely. And so you went over the categories. And one of the things that I see that you do, which is interesting, and I was telling Christopher earlier that we're never going to do this, and I really, 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 like this probably takes you a lot of work, and I don't envy you, but you actually go along and as every person submits, you post it in the Canadian Haunters Association about who did it, where they are, what category, and then their video. When did you start doing that?
I would say probably about maybe 5 years ago.
Okay.
Again, I just wanted everybody in the haunt community to see what others are doing.
Right. Yeah.
I found that when we start our video, we do a little montage of maybe about 5 to 7 second clip of each haunter that submits, whether they win or they don't win.
Right.
And a lot of people were texting me or emailing me afterwards saying, who was the person that made that? We didn't see them win, or they weren't in one of the nominees. So that's when I thought, all right, well, why don't we just show the whole videos? But when the judges go to do their voting, they go on to the website you were on, the one that's all blank right now.
Right.
And that's where they get to see all the different categories and all the videos. And that's what they have to watch. And then we have our way of judging. So nice. I don't want to give that out. I don't want to give you guys too many ideas for your show.
well, to be perfectly honest, we took the old Dead with Dave because I was a judge on the last Dead with Dave Awards. And so we took that and tweaked it and took a bunch of stuff out, changed that. Kind of, it gave us a starting point.
Right.
And I know you guys have created your own based on years of doing it. You guys have been doing this a lot longer than I think you guys, because it's you guys and the Home Haunter DVD Awards that were the longest, right? Because how long have you been doing the awards total?
This is our 9th year.
9th year, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. This is our 9th year. Yeah.
All right. And we're on our third year.
Third.
So Chris, we got a ways to go.
Oh yeah.
We got a ways to go to catch the Guinness Book of World Record holder here. So yeah, and so after you're done judging and everything like that, you guys make a video too, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so I try to get together one presenter per category to present, because I don't want to sit there and do the whole show myself. It's nice to have other people help out. So as I said, I've got chapter presidents all across Canada, coast to coast. So we get each of them, we give them a category. I try not to give them the same one they did the previous year.
Okay.
And then I created my own little committee, and I get these guys to come over. And, it takes a while to do it because everybody starts drinking, and things don't always go as planned. But we try to do the best we can. And we have a good bloopers reel at the end.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
But all in all, I'm very fortunate to have such amazing other home haunters that, will dedicate some of their time to sit there and watch all these awards, or all the videos, I should say. And then, give me their votes, who they feel it should be. I don't even vote anymore. I've stayed out of it. I just collect all the votes from all the chapter presidents, and then I use those. The only thing, like I said, that I do is the Spirit Award.
Oh, okay. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. And so I know last year you didn't do the awards because there's a lot of the Canadian haunters who do walkthroughs, and there were basically zero last year for you guys. I know for our category, there were only a small handful that did it in the US for sure.
Yeah, it was just an off year. Again, I don't make the executive decision. I contact all the other chapter presidents, and I just said to them, what are your thoughts? What do you guys feel? Should we proceed with it? Should we not? And it was pretty unanimous. Everybody just said, due to COVID, it's probably best we stop it. So it's unfortunate, but we didn't do it last year. And hopefully this year we'll go bigger and better.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you expect? Did you hear if there were a bunch that decided to do walkthroughs? I know that Rutherford said they were going back to their walkthrough.
Yeah. No, I've got. I can't say a huge amount, but
right.
One of our categories that we also do is we do to get kind of technical here. We've created Hall of Fame categories in certain categories, because it was the same large haunters, I'm going to say home haunters, that are almost at the level of going pro, that would enter the same category, and they just keep winning, hands down. And then anybody that's trying to compete with them just would get to the point where they would just say, I'm not going to even enter. Like, if Rutherford Manor is running for, best walkthrough, I already know that I don't have a chance against them. Because they win everything, which is, hats off to Trez and Hugh. They do an amazing job.
Yeah, they do.
So this is why we've created our Hall of Fame categories in certain areas where only they compete against other previous year's winners.
Nice. Yeah.
I have a question for you, and I'm going to give this to Christopher too, but we'll wait till he starts talking. Do you have a percentage of how many new haunters come out and jump onto the Home Haunters Awards show every year? I mean, I feel like there's always a large amount of newbies that come in and see this and are super excited. I just wondered if you had an idea of what the percentage of new haunters that you see every year show up for the Home Haunter Awards.
If I had to break it down, I would say probably about 25%.
Okay.
You see it because they I'm sure Christopher will attest to this. When they submit their videos, they feel they can go in every category, and they submit the same video.
Yep.
And then you got to go back to them and say, okay, listen, this is how it works. You can't be in the best walkthrough, yard, and Hall of Fame. You can only be in one of them, right?
Right.
And if you're going to submit a video into the best set design or best animatronic prop, you can't submit the same video you did for the yard haunt. You got to break out the section where you did your prop, and then the other thing you have to say to them is it can't be your spirit prop that you bought. It's got to be one that you built.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's just educating people, and once they know that, they're good, and then they get bit by the Halloween bug, and then off they go. They just start doing it.
Yeah, we had that problem. We had, I don't want to say problem, but we had a person that entered last year, and they entered like 3 different categories, and they used the same video, and it's like, okay, which one do you want to enter into? And then they'd say, well, this is my best static prop, and there's like 3 different props in there, and I'm like, well, which one are you entering? So but yeah, you're right, absolutely right. It is a little bit of an education, but that's also one of the reasons why we have in our rules that it says it has to be a prop that you've made, or it has to be a prop that you've repurposed and changed up. It can't just be a Spirit or a Walmart or Target prop that you've just changed. This is my prop. So
yeah. And you know what? To be honest, I don't mind spending extra time. I'll even give them my cell number and tell them to call me, and then I'll walk them through. Like what I like to do is, if you noticed, Troy, on my website, I list all the previous year's winners in each category going back to the very first year we started back in 2012. Yes. And I try to educate the new people that are coming on board. Take a look at the previous year's winners. Look at what they did that made them win that category. And I'm not saying you got to copy it, but just take stuff from that and use that, to help you, to inspire you, to do something. And you can see the wheels working, and you can see that, they want to do it. And some of them have already started. Like we've got some pretty good videos that have already been submitted, and I'm blown away by what people are capable of doing. And it's phenomenal to see these guys. And if we can infect them and get them, to do better, I love that. Like, I want to be that house myself, but I want other haunters to be that house in their neighborhood that kids grow up. Right. And they go, oh my God, there was this guy down the street, this Troy guy, and he was like, fuck, the shit this guy did in his yard. Like, I still have nightmares from that prop. And
the kids already say that. They're not talking about his Halloween decorations.
I was going to say,
talking about
Troy gives me nightmares too.
It's like in March, April. Yeah.
I always say to my actors when they're in the haunt, if you can get someone to pass out or pee themselves, hats off to you. You did your job. But, I obviously don't want to do that to the little kids that come. So, anyway.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the things that me and Christopher talked about when he came to me with the idea for the awards. I was like, as long as we make it that everybody feels like they want to enter and they can enter and they can win. And that was my big thing, because I've seen it in all the award shows, and you touched on it too with the Hall of Fame stuff, is there was about a good 3 or 4 year period where the same people were winning all of the awards. And I could tell, and people were telling other people that, you saw it in the comments and stuff like that, like, they won again. Oh, they won again. And that deflates them. There are some people who will not enter award shows. They're just like, nope, I don't feel that it's a contest. I don't like that idea. But when it's just for bragging rights, nobody gets any money. It's just for a trophy. It's just, it's just cool. But to me, it's, and I've even used people from the Canadian Haunters Awards and like Dead with Dave, that I've been like, I want to make that prop. And so seeing it in the award, yes, I love that they won, but it made me want to build something that I saw in their haunt. And and the fact that it won for them, I was like, well, if I can make something that cool, maybe I can win next year. And so that was one of the big things that me and Christopher continually hit on, even now, that we want to make sure that everybody feels like they can enter. And I know with ours, I've found people that I didn't even know existed in this industry that have been submitting, and it's been and it's a lot of new people. And maybe it's because we're we started it in another group. And so those people are people who have left Hunters Hangout or didn't want to go in there and just kind of, we're more small time. Those people are now seeing what other people are building, and they're seeing the awards and they're seeing the shows, and they're really getting excited. So I think both of our shows are really helping that aspect.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we put our new rule in this year about, hunters cannot win in same category in consecutive years.
Yeah.
And I just don't think we're at the point right now, like the Canadian Home Hunter Awards, you can do your veteran haunts, you can do your veteran category.
Yeah, we
whereas this is our third year, we really still don't have the
veterans
entrance into a veterans category. So, probably here in the next couple of years, we might be able to do something of a veterans category or something like that. But, that's just not something that we feel at this time is right for us. But, I like to see the veterans kind of go at it again and see, which veteran is going to do what, who's going to do what this year.
Yeah.
So that's a good segue into the Home Hunters Awards in the United States. Chris, you want to give us a little lowdown on the Home Hunter Awards show?
Sure. So the Home Hunter Award Show is not a new concept by me and Troy. We actually took it over from Dave Danankian. That's right, how you say his name, right? I never have.
Yeah, Dead with Dave.
Dead with Dave.
DD, whatever.
Yeah,
Double D. But whatever.
But he did it for, I think it was 6 years.
Yeah.
And he had to give it up. And in talking with Troy, we've always said, there needs to be another show, a US based show, because even though Chris, and the Canadian Home Hunter Awards, it's open to everybody, in the United States as well.
Just the international award, right, Chris?
No, we've opened up all kinds of categories now where you guys can win like best scare actors and
okay, cool. Okay.
Static props, best pneumatic prop. Well, you'll see it if you go in.
Oh wow. Okay, cool. Okay.
But we always said, hey, we want to kind of revive the Dead with Dave award show, and we actually reached out to him and said, hey, we want to pick this up, we just kind of want to get your blessing on it and try to do you justice, and he was okay with it. So kind of batted the idea around. I created a quick and dirty web page trying so that people could submit their entries, and we went running. And then COVID hit, and we couldn't get the thing produced until like August. August of 2019, we finally got it we finally got it filmed and produced. But we started off in that year. We started off with I believe it was 6 different categories: best static, pneumatic, motorized, and prop, display, walkthrough, and best overall. And the best overall is basically a combination of basically the highest scores in all of the different categories, and basically who got the highest score in all of the categories, and that person won best overall. Then last year we added best haunt cycled. And haunt cycling is a term that I came up with a number of years ago. Somebody said haunt recycling in a show or something that I was watching, and I said, "Oh, it's haunt cycling." Oh, there we go. And essentially, what that is you take a prop, or you take just a common item like a rocking chair, and you turn it into an electrical chair, or you turn it into, a granny, a granny skeleton that's rocking, or something along those lines. And so you've taken something that was going to be thrown away, or you found it in a thrift store, and you changed it into a prop that you're using for Halloween. So that's haunt cycling. So we added that category, and then we saw all of the popularity for that 12-foot skeleton last year. And we said, well, that's like the popular prop this year. Let's have a best 12-foot skeleton award. And we actually got some really good submissions
Yep.
with that category. And so when we were talking for this year, we said, well, do we want to add a category? Do we want to take away a category? The idea was to have kind of a changing category every year, and it's a new one every year based off of what's really popular at the time. And this year again, it so happened to be the 12-foot skeleton, but it's also the 12-foot inferno, so that category stuck around. But this year we've added a new category called best costume, and there's a lot of haunters out there. Oh yeah, it's our Waffle House. When we were filming and we got the ladies at Waffle House to do that, was hysterical.
Yes.
But no, so there's a lot of people, they go all out, when they're designing costumes for for their own home haunt, a costume party that they're going to, or even a haunt convention, and so, there's, like I said, there's a lot of brilliant people out there that create these just fabulous costumes.
That's a great idea, Christopher.
Yeah.
And,
So it's not just for a person. So if you make a costume for a prop,
yeah,
submit it.
Exactly. So,
yeah.
So we added the best costume category this year, as well as the 12-foot skeleton. So this year we have a total of 8 categories that you can actually enter, a total of 9, including best overall.
Yeah.
And that's, those are our categories for this year. So it's, again, it's best static, motorized, and pneumatic prop. And I want to say something about motorized here in a second. Best display, best walkthrough, best haunt cycled, best 12-foot skeleton or pumpkin inferno, and best costume. And those are our 8 categories that we're judging on. On our website, we've had a lot of people ask, well, what are you guys looking for? How do we know what to do? So we actually have a criteria page that will, it basically gives you essentially what we look for in the different categories and what we kind of judge on. Now we have our own way of judging, just like Chris Ainsworth does. But this is kind of, an overview of what we're looking for when we are judging these categories. So you can kind of, gear your submission to show off these different criterias. And then, of course, we've got the rules over on the left-hand side. So, but I wanted to say something about the best motorized and the best 12-foot skeleton last year. We really had some people think way outside the box, and it was awesome. So if you guys saw who won last year for best motorized, and that was 13 Skeletons. And 13 Skeletons and Jim Adams, where he basically created a Rube Goldberg device to fill a candy bowl. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is it right here, the refillable candy bowl. Well, gravity, to cause a reaction is considered a motor.
Yeah.
And so this is what won for best motorized, because he really thought outside of the box when submitting his category, when he's submitting his entry. And so, don't take exactly what the category is literally. If you have something that would fit those guidelines, submit it. Yep. And for like right there in the background, I don't know if you could see it, almost, but he also submitted an entry for the 12-foot skeleton. But it wasn't the 12-foot skeleton from Home Depot. He stacked skeletons on top of each other and in different positions and created a 12-foot tower of skeletons. And we accepted it because we didn't say it had to be the 12-foot skeleton prop. It just had to be a 12-foot skeleton. That's what it was. So, love it how haunters kind of think outside the box when it comes to submitting their entries. So that was fantastic. But, something else that Troy and I talked about when we were doing this is, most award shows, and Chris, don't take offense to this, please. but it's it's the presenters up there, and all they're doing is they talk a little bit about the category. They announce, they say, here are your nominees. It's the video of all the different people that have been nominated, and then your winner is, and here's your award. And I wanted something a little different. So, the very first year that we did it, it was kind of that format, but Troy changed locations. I stayed in the same location.
Right.
I didn't have the luxury to do that, unfortunately. But and of course we had our people submit their, our presenters, they submitted their videos. But last year I said, I want to do something even better. So we went to the House of Hell, Nate Demon, because he has his home haunt up year round. But as you can see in this video, a lot of it has already been torn down. He doesn't keep it all up. And I said, this is the perfect backdrop for what we need. We need to be, and what we're doing is we're going in to film, but Nate thinks we're there to work. And so he's trying to get us to work, and, we're trying to avoid him, but at the same time, film the award show. So we had this whole thing scripted out. Nate was a great sport about it. Absolutely loved having him there. He just made the whole, project just that much more fun. He had all these different places that we could film. This backdrop scene. Troy, how many takes did that take us?
We probably did 15 of them because we kept forgetting miscellaneous things. And then if you notice the wall there to the right-hand side, that's the side where in the previous scene you saw Troy in the jail with all the skulls. That's where that wall is. And as we're filming, and I think Troy put this in the bloopers. Oh yes.
As we're filming, the wall shifts and some of the skulls shift. So this is like one of the last takes where the wall had already shifted out a little bit. But I don't know if it was a constant running back and forth and maybe me kind of bumping into it and such.
Probably.
But yeah, probably. But we ended up breaking
broke his shit.
Yeah, we did. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but it was a lot of fun. Like I said, we had it scripted out and kind of had a story within a story. And I absolutely love how that happened. So this year we've got a plan to do the same thing. Troy, this is his year, so he's working on a script, but of course we both partner and we both collab on it and everything. So
we've actually already filmed one part of it. I have a super secret guest star, and he's already filmed. Oh, I gave part away. It is a he. He's already filmed his part.
Don't assume what he identifies as.
That's true.
Here we
That's
go.
true. That's true. That's true. This guy's a he. But yeah, so we have a very fun plan, and we're going to involve more haunters with this one too. So we're pretty much going to kind of almost have a comedy troupe, and we're just going to go around and film award shows every year. So you might see some reoccurring characters.
yeah, exactly. So so we like to, it's definitely something that we like to have fun with, and then at the same time showcase all of the great haunters that are out there that just pour their heart and soul into putting on something and doing something for neighbors and kids, and they don't get any money for it. And so this is kind of our way to give them a little bit of recognition for what they do.
And we didn't want to do what Chris does. We didn't want to just make another show that was the same thing. And so we wanted him, because their format works, everybody likes it, it's great, and they have a great time with it. The bloopers are amazing. It's well done. It's a format that works. And we were like, well, we can't make the same thing, because then that's going to be not boring, but it's just going to be like, okay, we have another one of these. And so we just wanted to do something so we are separate, but we also, Chris has given us advice on things before, especially when we started out. We talked to him about stuff in the beginning.
Yeah,
and,
he even, the Canadian Home Hunters Association even sponsored
Yeah, they did.
the Home Haunter Award show, and it was something that was
Yep.
greatly appreciated because you know, we were just starting out. You know,
Yep.
everything that we do for the award show, and Ainsworth can attest to this. Everything is coming out of our own pockets. You know,
Oh yeah.
I mean, everything that I've done with the website, you know, we're paying for the hosting, we're paying for the domain, you know, the domain registration. No, I know we had. Yes, I know.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is,
You have to
we're
say
doing
something.
all of this.
Yeah, you got to say it.
You got to say it.
You have
No,
to say
have
it.
to
I
say
know.
it.
You have to say it. He's watching.
Maximus Christian
Time.
Brian is awesome.
Yes, there you go.
There he is.
Yeah. So we
Very
do,
good, very good.
like I said, we're doing this out of our own pockets, and then we open it up to sponsorships, because even though we're not trying, we're not making money off of this at all in any way, shape, or form. But sponsorships definitely help with the expenditures that we incur while putting this on. Because I know Ainsworth, you guys are accepting sponsorships as well, right?
Yeah, I did it 2 years ago. I'll probably end up doing it again this year because, like you said, like the trophies are not cheap.
Nope.
Yeah.
You got to get them made, and then we also have the certificates, and then the other big expense is mailing out the awards, especially
Yeah.
if we're going to do
Yeah.
international, like for us shipping them down to you guys or vice versa.
Yep.
Like shipping them up here, it's not cheap.
Yeah.
And
So
again,
we had a
paying
lot
for
of
that out of your own pocket. It adds up.
Yeah.
And so we had a lot of great sponsors last year, but of course Maximus Christian Bryant, who is awesome,
Yep.
was fantastic, platinum level sponsor. So he's helped us out a great deal for the website. But again, like I said, this is all stuff that we're doing on our own spare time and compiling and doing everything together just because we love the holiday. We love seeing what everybody does, and we want to to give them some recognition for everything that they love to do. So
Yeah.
That's awesome. So if anybody else out there is watching and you have any questions, feel free to leave the messages down there. I know I have one here from Leanne. Just pop it up here.
Oh yeah.
She said, "Are submitted videos available for viewing on YouTube?" I guess there's a two-part to that. The most haunters post their videos out there on the YouTubes,
Right.
but do either of you guys show off or have a way that people can look at the submissions to see who all has submitted, to see what your competition is?
Yeah, like Troy said earlier, what we do is we have a Facebook page. So we'll put down the name of the haunt, the name of the haunter.
Right.
We'll put what category that they've entered in. If it's an animated or static prop, we'll say what the prop is, and then we put the YouTube link, and then you can click on that, and it takes you to YouTube, and you watch the video.
There you go.
Yeah, and what I did with ours is because the first year we did ours, I think we got 125 submissions or something like that, and not all of them were on YouTube. They would send us Google Drive links or Dropbox links or something from their phone, and so it was harder for us to give out that stuff. And some of them, even the YouTube videos, were private. And so, and they still were private even after the award show. It's like, well, we showed it because you won or whatever. So it's like, it's not private anymore. But they originally would send it to us as private. So we didn't know whether or not we could put it out there. So what I did was, and I just now noticing that I need to update this, that it doesn't have any 2021s in there, is that I made lists for on our YouTube page that made a playlist of the nominated and the winners.
Nice.
So at least those were up there. And so I think we'll continue with that. And as we go along each year, me and Christopher sit down after every award season, sit there and talk about what do we want to change, what do we want to add or take out. And then we also ask like the Halloween Yard Haunts and Props group, we'll be like, what do you guys think about this? And so we ask the masses because it's their show, and they're the ones entering. And then we get feedback from people too. People will say, "Hey, what about this?" And have you guys thought about this? And so it and Chris can attest to this. It is a lot of work to keep tabs on where all the stuff's coming in from. And this year we actually made it to where it does, like, they can't submit Google Drive links and stuff like that, right?
No, they can submit. They can submit Google Drive links. They can
Oh,
submit.
but it has
not
to be
e-
a video.
Yeah, it has to be a video.
Has to be a
It
video.
has to be a
Okay.
video link.
Yeah.
But you know, one of the things that I didn't want to put the videos up prior to submissions being closed, only because I didn't want people to look at these other videos that are out there and get discouraged.
Right.
I didn't want them to say, "Oh gosh, that stirring cauldron witch prop, I can't beat that."
Right.
No, you might, because you don't know what the judges are
I don't
looking
know.
for.
I look at it the different way and say,
Yeah.
okay, this is what my competition is, and that's what I have to do to make it better.
Right.
You know, I look at it that way.
I
Yeah.
think the
Yeah.
same thing, but then like, what if somebody like, is it allowed if somebody would like have a prop they were working on and just didn't get done for the season, and then they see that what their competition is, they work their ass off in their garage and make it like amazing, set it
Yeah.
out in their yard, do a video, and it's like December and it really wasn't up for their display. Is that allowed? You know what I'm
It
saying?
has,
I mean,
yeah,
we all have
yeah.
those projects.
Yeah, I mean, if it's something that they built and they finished for 2021, but didn't actually have it out on display, yeah, that's fine, because it's a
That's
prop
fine.
that they completed in
Right.
2021,
Yeah.
Right.
regardless if they used it or not. But one of the criterias that we look for is we want to see it in it, you know, as it's being built or how it was put together,
Mhm.
but we also want to see it in its setting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Usage within the theme
Yep.
and the scene. That's, you know, I mean, it's an equal part to all of the other, you know, things that we look for when we're judging. You know, and you could score high on everything else, but if you don't use it within the theme and you score low, you might lose out to a person that may not have scored as high on the other pieces of criteria, but in the usage and theme, that kind of bumped them up and
Yep.
over the threshold.
Or
You know,
dropped them down. If they
or-
put it in their garage up against their garage door and I don't see it in the cemetery, that tells me that you didn't. What did it look like? You know,
Yeah.
I
Right.
yeah, it's a really cool prop, but it's in your garage or it's in your
Right.
side yard up
Yeah.
against a wall.
Right.
That's not
Right.
Halloween, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like I said, they're more than welcome to submit that prop, but they're missing out on part of the criteria that we look for and that we judge on is
Mhm.
the usage in the scene. So,
Yeah.
you know, you know, I don't want to discourage anybody from entering. I want them to enter.
Right.
But again, at the same time, you know what we're judging on, and you know, if you don't have it in your haunt, but you plan on completing it and using it for next year, save it for next year.
Mhm.
You know, add some tweaks to it. Hey, I just did it with 20, you know, for 2022.
Yeah.
So
Michelle has a question. Troy, you want to read it?
Yeah, it says also when submitting a video, I did some in low light and in the dark, and the lighting was great, but my video equipment was not. So is it okay to splice together the two together for the walkthrough?
Absolutely.
I think I get what she was trying to say is that
Mhm.
is that there's some of it that's going to be in light and some of it that's going to be in dark.
In the dark.
You know, and so one of the scenes will be with all the lights on, and then that scene in the dark again because you can't really see what's going on in that because video cameras are terrible with picking that crap up when your eye can see all of it. I know a lot of walkthrough videos. I know that looks a lot better in person. We all do, you know, but you do your best. And I actually like it when people will go through and show, even if it's a picture splice in of this is what it looks like with all the lights on, or at least some lighting in it or something like that, because it does let me see what I would have seen if I was there. Having a haunt that's all dark, you know, and that's all you submit, then that's what we have to go off of is what you submit. We can't assume that it's better, you know. So absolutely splice it together.
Splice away.
Yeah, splice away to
Yep,
make it
absolutely.
to show us everything. So, but yeah, we are open to, you know, both of us are open to submissions now. And you can message either of us, you know.
My website's up and running, by the way, Troy.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, sorry.
He
I went
fixed
in.
it.
You said that, Chris. You want to give everybody the info so that they know what their all the Canadian haunters or non-Canadian haunters that want to check out the website? Where do they go to see all this fun stuff?
Yeah, so you can go on to its CanadianHauntersAssociation.com, and if you scroll down the page after we explain everything, there's an area where you can submit and you can enter. Just like Christopher said, we give a breakdown of each category with each one. We explain what the actors are looking for, or sorry, judges are looking for, excuse me, and then at least you know what you're up against, and then you can submit your haunt. And as I said, it goes on the Facebook page, and then if you go back, Troy, I was going to say, if you go further down, you'll see the entries that we have so far. So there's his submissions for 2021.
Who's that guy?
As you said, Dan.
Oh boy, good gosh, you let him enter? What the heck?
Two? He's got two?
Oh man.
Atta boy, Presley. Atta boy.
Hey, I was busy this year.
Yeah, and all you do is you click on the red video, and it takes you right into a YouTube video showing you the category that they've entered, and away you go. And that's what the judges will be.
He didn't click on mine, so he doesn't get. Nobody's going to see how sorry my stuff is.
No.
So how late can you submit for the Canadian Hunters Association?
Mine, I've gone to January the 15th, midnight.
Okay.
So we do get a few last minute people that
of course
will see what they're up against, as you said earlier, Dan, in a category, and they'll want to beef their video up to look better.
Yep.
Like we've got a few people that I know it's their first time submitting a video, and like Christopher said in his, it's very annoying when people film like this with their phones when they should be filming landscape.
Yes.
So they need to do that, and then the next thing is when they do their editing, they don't know how to put in music, or sounds. So I'm trying to help. I think for future Trans World or HauntCon shows, we need to do a class on how to edit and submit videos
and how to film.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, no offense.
I know somebody that can do that. That's a good idea.
Yeah,
Susie.
Really?
Definitely me. Oh my God! Thank you for recognizing my talents.
That's right.
Appreciate you.
Glasses come off. Susie's ready to go.
Woo!
If you want somebody who can film volleyball all day, then you can talk to Dan. If you want to film haunt stuff, you talk to Susie.
Yeah. I started with haunt stuff. Volleyball pays more, so sorry. Anyway.
But yeah, no, I agree. It is kind of tough to teach, in a classroom setting about, for only an hour about film editing, but to give people some, some basic starting points.
A really good idea. But that's another show. So let's hold off on that.
Right.
So home haunted awards.
Yep.
What's you guys' deadline?
January 22nd.
All right. And then where can we find all you guys' information so that we can all the US
hhawards.rip.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
It's not a cheap domain.
It's not. I have two of them.
I'm a domain whore, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
But when I saw that for the Northwest Haunters Association, there was no way I was going to pass that up. I was like, nope, it's ours.
No, you can't. No, you can't. So we've definitely gone over our time limit tonight.
Whatever. It's Halloween.
It is what
it's after Halloween. Who cares?
It is what it is. But I was trying to roll it in here because I've got to go to bed because I got to get up in the morning.
Whatever.
Unlike everybody else in this place.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks for having me.
Man, I got hours and hours left of my night.
Yeah, right. Thanks, Chris Ainsworth. Thanks, Christopher Pressley.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
You're awesome. Make sure anybody that's still watching, go out there, check out their websites. Make sure that if you do have something out there, toss out a question to them. Get some videos out there. The more submissions, the better.
Absolutely.
You never know what you guys are going to come up with, and it always spurs on more creativity. So
yeah. And awesome. I think Troy, we just got a new platinum sponsor. So
we did.
Did you see that come in?
I think we have a new platinum sponsor.
Well, it's not official. I just need to know how to pay you.
Yes.
Oh.
Whatever you do, do not send it to Troy.
Yeah, don't send it to Troy at scarehollowpdx at paypal.com. Don't do that. Don't do that at all. That'd be bad.
Leanne says, "Creep it real." We definitely will.
All right, kids. Let's go
All
home
right.
now.
All right,
All
sounds good. Take care, guys.
I am home. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
yeah.
Have a great night, everybody.
Good night.
See you guys next year. Enjoy everything. Good night, all.
Thank
Bye.
you.